Hello, it's Alex and welcome to Hey Little Thrifter. Today I'm going to be talking about horror films rather than books, and I'm going to be going through a list of 13 films that I'm going to be watching this October in the run-up to Halloween. Of course I watch horror all year round, but when October comes around I like to put a bit more of an effort into my film watching schedule and pick a bunch of films that I definitely want to get to during the month. And I'd love one year to be able to do 31 films in the month of October and do a film a day, but it's just not practical, unfortunately, so 13 is a bit more doable. So yeah, 13 it is. And I've done videos like this for the past few years, so I'll leave the older ones linked below if you want to check out what I've watched in previous years. I feel like I've got a pretty good variety for this October. I'm really looking forward to checking them out. All but one are ones that I haven't seen before. One of them is a rewatch, but it's been many years since I've seen it. Some of these are ones that have been on my to watch list for ages, and I'm finally getting around to watching them. Some of them have been recommended to me from friends here on YouTube and on Instagram, so yeah, thank you to anyone that sent me recommendations. I appreciate it, and if they're not on this list, it means I've either watched them already or I will check them out another time. And I've got films from various decades, so I figured for the video I would put them in chronological order and start with the oldest and work to the most recent ones. So first up, from 1953 is Invaders from Mars, directed by William Cameron Menzies. This is the one on the list that will be a rewatch for me. I remember seeing this when I was a kid. It must have been on TV like one Sunday afternoon, and I have some very distinct memories of certain parts of it. There are some scenes where people are getting sucked down into the sand, and that was like absolutely terrifying to me as a kid. And the story itself is about an alien invasion to Earth, and they are starting to take over certain people, and that whole concept was also terrifying to me. But I haven't seen the film since, and it's been on my mind recently, so I definitely wanted to make sure to add it to this list. Yeah, it's definitely more of a science fiction horror, and it's one of the classic black and white ones from the 50s. Really looking forward to revisiting this one. Next, from 1964, is At Midnight I'll Take Your Soul by José Mojica Marins. This is a Brazilian horror film. I don't know much about it. I kind of just want to go into this knowing nothing, and it's one that was recommended to me. So yeah, I'm just going to jump into this one and see what it's all about. But I am intrigued, certainly. Moving on to the 1970s, I have Frightmare from 1974, directed by Pete Walker, who's a British director. This is about a woman recently released from prison, but it seems old habits die hard and she begins killing again. I think this is going to be a nice, grimy 70s British horror film, so looking forward to this one. Next is Summer of Fear from 1978, directed by Wes Craven. This one is based on the novel by Lois Duncan, who is probably most famous for writing I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it stars Linda Blair as a teenager whose cousin comes to live with her and her family, and she soon starts to suspect the cousin of being a witch. Moving on to the 1980s, we have City of the Living Dead from 1980, directed by Lucia Fulci, and this is kind of the clues in the title. It's about the living dead, people coming back from the dead. I'm here for it, and I've seen a few of his other films and enjoyed them, so yeah, this one should be a good time. From 1984 we have Rocktober Blood, directed by Beverly Sebastian. This is about a rock singer who comes back from the dead to murder his bandmates. I love the combination of rock music and horror and Halloween, so yeah, looking forward to this. And from 1986, Trick or Treat, directed by Charles Martin Smith. Kind of in a similar vein to Rocktober Blood, these two have both been on my to watch list for ages. This is about a teenager who is obsessed with a heavy metal star and is devastated when he dies, but stumbles upon a satanic ritual to bring him back from the dead, and apparently he's the only one who can stop it. And from 1988, Pumpkinhead, directed by Stan Winston, who's probably more well known for his special effects work. This stars Lance Henriksen and is about this monster called Pumpkinhead. I don't know how I've never seen this film. I've been aware of it, obviously. It's a pretty big cult horror film franchise, but I've just never seen it. So yeah, it's about time I finally check this one out. Moving on to the 1990s, Dark Waters from 1993, directed by Mariano Baino. This is about a girl dealing with the death of her father, and it's got nuns in it. Not quite sure other than that, but that's enough to have me intrigued. So yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. And from 1995, Castle Freak, directed by Stuart Gordon. I've seen some of his other films, so this one should be a good time. It stars Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton and their family who inherit a castle, and of course there's some creepy stuff going on here. Okay, now moving into the 2000s, and Satan's Little Helper from 2004, directed by Jeff Lieberman. This is about a young boy who's obsessed with a video game called Satan's Little Helper, and Halloween rolls around and he's dressed up as the Little Helper, and while he's out and about he sees someone dressed as Satan from the video game. Little does he know that beneath the costume is a serial killer. I've seen a couple of Jeff Lieberman's other films, Blue Sunshine and Just Before Dawn, which are really awesome, but this one definitely seems quite different in tone. This one seems a lot more comedic. But yeah, either way, looking forward to it. From 2016 is The Love Witch, directed by Anna Biller. This is about a woman who uses witchcraft to make men fall in love with her. I believe it's something of a period piece, but also I think it's like a combination of modern day and like 1970s style. And I think it's quite feminist in tone. I've been meaning to check this out for the past couple of years and haven't yet, so yeah, now seems like the perfect opportunity to do so. And last but not least, from 2017 is Terrified, directed by Demian Rugner. This is a film from Argentina, and it's about an investigation into the supernatural. Don't know too much more than that, but it seems like it might be quite atmospheric and emotional, so yeah, it should be good. So those are 13 horror films that I'm really looking forward to watching in October in the run-up to Halloween. Hopefully I might be able to squeeze in a few more films as well, but these are the ones that I definitely want to get to. Let me know if you've seen and enjoyed any of these, or let me know what you're looking forward to watching in October, or if you want any recommendations, I'd be happy to send some your way. I hope you're all having a wonderful October so far and getting into the Halloween spirit. I know I am. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!